cut and fit way to make sales. You just have to think outside the box, and there are some things that you really need to, focus on, and train yourself on in order to make sales. So, I'm gonna jump right into this training. Basically, again, it's different well, it's sales strategy and some tips for you to be able to make sales. One of the first things that you really want to do is you want to make sure that your offer is irresistible. You want to make an irresistible offer to people, an offer that people don't want to refuse. So you want to make sure that, this offer is of value to them. And one of the ways that you do that, you need to ask yourself a few questions. You want to find out, does your product or service, have any relevancy to what you're doing? You, can your prospect see credibility in your product? I mean, do they see credibility in your product or you in order to buy from you? You know, is there value in is there true value? Will your customer see a return on their investment? I mean, is that valuable to them or not? You know, does your customer see a risk into, buying your product? These are some of the questions that you have to ask yourself. You know, um, Another one is there a sense of urgency, for them? Do they need to buy it right now? Why do they need to buy it right now? Put yourself in the customer's shoes and ask yourself these questions. Are you targeting the right audience? You know, I mean, if you're selling roadside assistance or whatever you're selling, you know, does that person need what you have to offer? Do they? You got to ask yourself these questions. These are the kind of research questions that you need to know before you get out there and start marketing. You know, can your customer, visualize the benefits of what you're offering? You know, and another thing is, does your customer think your offer is too good to be true? Now, if you're saying, hey, um, you get so and so, like if you're selling or trying to promote the business opportunity, oh, you'll make $5,000 in a week. Yeah, you could. The potential is there. The potential is definitely there. But starting off, you know, that's just unrealistic, to be honest, because it takes time to get to that point. So yeah, that would be a little bit unrealistic to people. And so you have to make sure that whatever you're offering is realistic to people. Are you offering something that your competition don't? you know with MCA or any other business, there is a lot of competition out there. So you have to make sure your offer stands out in front of the crowd. you know so you have to be able to bring value to your customer. And what makes your services better than your competition? What are you offering people? What incentive do you give them to sign up with you, for them to buy from you? I mean, what exactly are you giving them? So these are the things that you need to, think about and focus on before you're going out trying to sell something. I'm gonna go back into some of this stuff, but as far as relevancy, the first thing I said was, does your product or service have relevancy? You know, it, there has to be a problem first. If there's no problem, then what are you solving for them? What is your offer solving for them? You know, um, so that's how you gain relevancy. You know, into your offer. You figure out what kind of problem you can solve with what you're offering people. Now, as far as your credibility, or can a customer see any credibility in your product or service? The thing that you need to do is you need to convince the customer that you can solve their problem. That whatever you're offering, you can solve their problem. So that's one of the things that you need to think about. And when you get into, is there a true value? Does the customer see a true value in what you're offering? You know, you need to find out, can you solve that problem better than anybody else? You know, um, will that customer see any type of return on their investment? You know, what is it about your product that is going to value them? So, you got to make sure that your product will over deliver over everybody else, or that you will provide them a service, that nobody else will, an incentive to get people to either, to buy from you. And, people want to know, are they risking, what kind of risk are they taking by buying from you or buying your product? So you have to ensure people that, you know, the risk that they're taking is backed up, you know, that they are going to get what they're paying for. So that's the thing that you have to make sure that the customer knows, that they will receive what they're paying for, rather it's joining with you in the opportunity or joining with you purchasing some benefits or your product. They have to know that they have little to no risk, in order to buy from you. Um, the next thing I want to get into is the sense of urgency. When you ask yourself, is there a sense of urgency, for them to buy from you? Why should they buy from you right now instead of waiting? You know, what what urgency are you giving them to go ahead and buy now? You know, you have to take these things into consideration, guys. It's just not, you know, join me, join me, join me. Well, why should they join you? Join me now. Why should they join you now? Give them a reason. Give them a reason. If you don't give them a reason, they're just going to go on to the next person. To the next person who are going to solve their problem, provide, provide an answer to their question, or um, give them what they're looking for. Give them an incentive to buy from them. So, like I said, they're just going to move on to the next person. Now, getting into the targeted audience, you guys have to make sure that you are targeting the right people. If you're targeting the wrong group of people, you're wasting your time. You're not going to, if you're selling roadside assistance, you are not going to sell to, it was kind of cute. I ain't trying to put nobody out there, but people are joining the wrong kind of groups and promoting to the wrong people. If you're promoting roadside assistance, you need to be promoting to people who have cars, you know, people who drive every day. You know, um, you can promote to stay-at-home moms. They are usually the ones with kids, stay-at-home moms with kids that, a lot of them drive their kids back and forth to soccer practice and, football games or whatever. So you guys, you got to make sure that you are targeting the right people. If you're not targeting the right people, you're simply wasting your time. That's just what it is. You're just simply wasting your time. And the next thing was visualizing the benefits, allowing your customer to visualize, the benefit of what you're offering. So if you're offering roadside assistance, I mean, break it down to them. Like I said, guys, you got to study your product. You got to know your product. You know, if if a person who is driving a car is, breaks down all the time, they are going to want something where they don't have to keep calling a tow truck. So explain to them what they're getting. Hey, you're getting unlimited, unlimited roadside, or you're getting, you know, all these different benefits that will help you. How will those benefits help them? Explain it to them, guys. That's the reason why you got to learn your product. You have to learn your product to know, how to solve your customers' needs. I tell you all the time, study your products, study your products. You know, I tell you all the time, because people will ask you questions and things like that, and you have to stand up there in confidence in being able to, answer those questions for them. So, you just gotta make sure you put yourself out there. You know, when you get into, like what makes you better than your competition, you gotta put yourself out there. You've got to show people what you have to offer. People are interested in you. You know, the, the benefit packages of MCA are already, they already have a brand. They already have a value. What value are you giving your customer to join with you? With you. You have to give them value. People want value. No matter what it is, people want value. And in order to stand out above your competition, you've got to get creative with things. You've got to think outside the box. You've got to, put an extra incentive in there that gives people, the the gives people the motivation to get with you, to buy from you. I mean, are you likable? Or are you just trying to just shove something down someone's throat? Nobody likes a pushy salesperson. That's just it. Nobody likes a pushy salesperson. So what you have to do is you've got to, be creative, stand outside, stand among the crowd, but make yourself stand out. You know, and that's what you have to do. There is no push button way to make sales. There's just none. You know, everybody uses their own methods, and you have to find what works for you. What works for one person may not work for everybody. But these are just some tips. I'm gonna just run them down real quick again, just so you'll kind of get an idea of, the type of things that you need to work on. And again, guys, this doesn't work unless you apply it. You have to study it, you have to learn it, and then apply it. It doesn't work until you do all that. But I'm going to break this down for you again. This is just some tips on some sales strategies. Number one, does my product or service have relevancy to what I am doing? Number two, can my customer see credibility in my product or service? Number three, is there true value in my product? Can the customer receive a return of investment if they buy from me? You know, does the customer see a risk to purchase from me? Is there a sense of urgency for them to buy right away, or should they wait? Give them a sense of urgency to buy from you now. Next one is, do I have a targeted audience? Am I targeting the right audience? Can the prospect or customer visualize the benefits? Does my offer seem too good to be true? What do I offer that the competition doesn't? And last but not least, what makes my services or product unique above my competitors? What makes it better? Guys, that's the whole deal. You have to be better than all your competition. Give your competition a run for their money. You have to be better than them. So those are my tips for sales and making sales. Ask yourself those seriously, guys. Ask yourself those questions. Write them down. Make answers for them, and then learn them. And apply it. And trust me, guys, you'll start seeing a difference. But you have to learn how to market to people. And this is just not for MCA. These tips are not just for MCA. They are just strictly plain old marketing tips. Because you have to learn marketing in order to sell anything, including whatever your business that you're in. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I just wanted to give you some sales tips, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day. All right, guys.